Hey everybody, I'm Mary. I am your librarian here at SETCC, and today we're going to do a quick overview of how to search the databases and how to feel really confident in the material you get through the library catalog. We will also then look at some of our specific business databases and things that you're going to want to spend some time with individually to make sure you find the information that works best for you. All right, so let me start sharing my screen here, and we will move right over to the library. So this is the front page of the library, and when you're here, it's setcc.edu/library. Scroll down a bit. We do have information that says Quick Search Guide to the Library Catalog, and there is a link there. That's a PDF handout that walks you through the information that I'm going to kind of circle over now. But if you want to go back and read through that so that you feel confident in your search skills, there it is. Underneath that is a link to our YouTube videos. It goes to our list of playlists. You can check our what's it called? Library skills. The first video is a short video on how to do the searching that we're about to do. And then the last video, I think it's number 13 in that playlist of library search skills or library skills, is also about searching the database. And it's long, it's like 40 minutes. So pick one that works for you, or you can always send me an email here at the college and you and I can set up a time to meet in my office. This is my office, or you and I can Zoom if you don't come to campus. Either way, perfectly fine. All right, so let's do a quick overview of how to do searching in the database. So on the website, you start by scrolling down, not too far, to the link that says search the catalog. So I open that and it opens in another page. Be sure that you go up to this top right-hand corner and click sign in. Sign in then with your Star ID, students, faculty, and staff. There we go. I'm signing in. And so now in that top right-hand corner, it says my name. So my library account is now open. I could see what I have checked out. I could renew books, whatever. The reason you do that right now is because all of the databases that we're going to be using cost a ton of money. It's not obvious until you get into it why you don't then have access if you don't sign in. But you have to be, somebody has to pay for you. And we did. We've already paid for you. You are part of the VIP group. But you need to be signed in now before you really get started. All right. So near the top, there's a search bar that says search anything. And at the end of that is a link that says advanced search. Always click on advanced search. Advanced is always right. That doesn't mean this is the hard search. It means this is the search where the databases are helping you do the heavy lifting. So I'm going to search for greenwashing and construction. So I'm interested in this topic. I could click on add a new line. I put each search term on its own individual line. I'm going to say business. You don't always need 3 words. You don't always need two. You don't know what's going to give you the best results. You just throw some stuff out there and you hit the search button here. I'm hitting it now. And you just hope for the best. You feel the vibes. All right, so my search gave me 50 results, which is not a very big result. That's okay. 50 might be just enough for me. So I can now, but let's say, I don't know, I want more stuff. So I'm going to delete business from up there and I'm going to hit search again. I want a lot of things in my pile so I can consider it. All right, I did get now 103 results. That's actually not a ton. I would have been happier with like 5,000 results or, 15,000 results. That'd be great because then I could really narrow it and focus. What I'm guessing is when I put in the word greenwashing, that's a pretty focused word already. There's not a lot of moving around in there. So cool. But I mean, I'm not going to look at 103 results. I've got 103 here. I'm not going to look at that. That would be bananas. Let's not do it. Slide your eyes and your cursor to the left side of your screen. And now we have ways to refine these results. There's a heading there that says refine my results. Slide down under that. Now, there are different categories. So under availability, you could say, I only want peer-reviewed journals. For a lot of assignments in business class, you don't actually need that. You may want things that are like newspaper articles and newsletter articles. Totally fine. For some classes, like biology, some of the history classes, you do need peer-reviewed journals. And so that will matter. If you need them, click on it, and that's all that will be in your pile of results. We don't need it, so we're just going to scroll right by, don't even care. All right, I'm going to go to subject, and I'm clicking that word subject and opening up everything underneath it. What we have underneath it now are a bunch of words with numbers after it. That is, those words are, they come from my big pile of results, my 103 results over there. Every one of those 103 results have different kinds of social media, or not social media. They all have keywords with them. So every one of them have keywords available. The database over here on our left side under subject, it counts all of the keywords and puts them into order based on the most word used most often, and then second most often, blah, blah, blah. So the word used most often, the most frequent keyword is greenwashing. There are 52 articles that say that. Okay, cool. I like it. Let's see. Environmental science. I don't really think that's for me. I don't think I care. Sustainability. Yeah, that sounds cool. 24 of those. Oh, sustainable development. That sounds interesting. Construction industry. Maybe. There are only 14. Once you get down, this is such a small pile. Once you get down to those small numbers, I mean, really anything under 30, it's probably not even worth clicking on the word over here unless you know, like here, anti-environmentalism. There are 12 resources in there. So if I click that, it's really going to make my pile very small, but maybe every single thing in there, all 12 of them will be exactly what I want. So you decide what you want. I want these three words, and I scroll down to the bottom of the page on the left side, and I click the link that says apply filters. So we're waiting for a minute there for that to happen. All right, I now have 66 results. So I want all 50, I want 50. It gives you, I'm clicking on right now on the number of results. So you have the choice of results per page to be 10, 25, or 50. Always choose 50. Defaults to 10, but 10 is not enough. You can look at each one of these little references and get some information about it. You can see the title, you can see the author, you can see like a sentence or so about the article or taken from the article. You can get a quick idea of, yeah, this is something I want to look at a little bit more, or this is definitely something I'm not interested. Keep going. You can scroll through the first 50 in like 5 minutes, maybe not even that. If you get to 50 and you haven't found the resources that you need, do what we just did. Go back up to the top. Start your search again. No big deal. All right, so let's say I love this first article. It sounds really interesting. I got combating greenwashing of construction projects in New Zealand and Australia, a critical analysis of environmental product declarations. Oh my gosh, sounds so great. Could hardly be better. So I click on that title, the link there. And now I have this pop-up page that kind of popped over the library page where I was. We're still in the library. And it's giving me information about where this is, full text availability. I can keep scrolling down the page and it'll give me a description. It will give me the keywords for the article. If I scroll back up the page, it's the heading that says send to. So I could email this to myself. I could get the permalink by clicking that little icon link. I could get the citation. I could print it. The citation could be very helpful, and I just clicked that link. So down the left side of that little blob of information, it will tell you what citation formats it's going to translate this into. So if your instructor wants APA or if your instructor wants MLA, pick the newest version that they have on here. Click that. So I'm clicking MLA 8th edition because maybe that's what my instructor wants. Talk to your instructor. There's not a wrong way to go. But it's what your instructor says. And then I click copy citation to clipboard. So now I've copied that. So now I can just go paste it into my Word document or into my Google Doc, or I could just open up an email and just email that to myself, and then I have it. I don't need to mess with it later. All right, now I looked at all that and I was like, I don't know, that doesn't really work for me. I don't think that sounds as interesting as I want it to be. So I'm going to click on another article. This one kind of looks interesting, but I just feel like I'm still not quite finding something that's really grabbing me and making me feel interested in it. So let's try that one. I'm trying to find a specific database. It's not helping. Come on, guys. Help me out here. These are all going to perfectly good databases. I'm just looking for a specific one. So I've clicked on another article here and I've looked at the description. I've looked at the keywords. Interesting. Okay, this all sounds good. Now, near the top there where it says view online, and then the heading view online, and then under that full text availability, there are two different white boxes. Each white box is a database. So this one is EBSCOhost Business Source Premier or EBSCO Megafile. It doesn't matter. The same article lives in both places. So you could just think of it, I always think of it as just paper. This piece, if I printed this article out and I set it onto a shelf, one shelf is called Business Source Premier, one shelf is called Megafile. It doesn't matter. They're both perfectly good. So let's go look at EBSCOhost Megafile. Actually, let's look at Business Source Premier. All right. Now we're leaving the library right now and we're moving to the EBSCO database. It keeps saying loading because it's checking to make sure that I signed in earlier and that my material I'm I'm supposed to be here. Weirdly, I think this has given us a different article. Nope, it was the same article. I just had the wrong title that I was thinking of. All right, so we have our article. This is what I wanted, and I clicked on it. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on here. I'm just going to briefly tell you every database, and it doesn't matter which one you go to. EBSCO is a very common one, um, different kinds of EBSCOs, but Gale, publicly accessible, anything. It doesn't matter where you are. They'll pretty much all have these same things. On EBSCO, up in the top right-hand corner, there are assorted little icons and there are links to things. So one says save item. I would skip that. It doesn't ever work for me. I would just skip it. The next little icon says cite. So if you click that, then you can figure out the citation that you're going to need. This gives you a lot of choices, a lot more than what we had in our library's database. So let's say MLA 9th edition. That's what I'm interested in. I'm going to be using MLA citation. So I click MLA 9th edition from that drop-down menu. And then I click copy that to the clipboard. And now I can go open my Word document, paste it. I could open my Google document. I could, again, just put it in an email to myself. Whatever makes me happy, I could do. All right, so back to the top right-hand corner. You can always find a citation in the databases. I'm skipping the add to project icon and I'm going to share. So citation and then share. Those are the good things. I could save it to my Google Drive, my OneDrive. I'm not going to. I'm going to click the choice email and I'm just going to email this to myself. And that way the whole article, it comes to me. You want to do that. The next icon on the top right of this screen is download. So if you're on your own computer, you might want to download it and save it. But definitely either download it or email it to yourself. And you want to do that because you may never see this article again. Sometimes you don't know how you happen to land on it. You just hit the right combination of search terms. Sometimes the database folks will have taken this article out because they're updating and moving things along, and maybe they think this doesn't seem very interesting. They've got a better one. It may be gone. So this could be gone an hour from now. It could be gone a week from now. I mean, it could be here for 5 years. but I wouldn't take a chance. Email it to yourself. Or download is the next choice, or printing it out is the next choice. All perfectly fine. I'm going to keep sliding over on the icon. Publication contents is not really relevant at the moment, but click through stuff like that. Listen. That is the icon that if you're looking at it, it looks like little headphones. If you click on that, it will give you the option, and I'm clicking, but we're not going to play it. But you can click the play button there and it will start reading the article to you. If you go over to the article and you click someplace on there, it will start reading from there. This could be really handy. I mean, it's obviously if you have some visual issues, it might be easier to listen to it being read through here. But also, some academic articles are just really complicated and they're kind of hard to understand. I think it's easier if you are looking at it and also listening to it being read. So if that works for you, maybe give it a try. See if it's useful. There's also an icon that says accessibility support. So there could be, yeah, just to make sure that you feel confident with this. And if what is in here isn't supporting you, isn't what you need, there's a place you can go to. You should also come talk to me, and I will try to make sure that I either figure out how to get this for you, or uh, we find something that will be at least as good for you. All right. Just remember all those general things, they may not be in the top right-hand corner of every database, but they'll be someplace near the top. You can get your citation, you can just copy that. You can download it or email it to yourself, and then almost all of them will have the option to also read the article to you. So if those are things that are useful to you, fantastic. All right, I just closed the EBSCO site. That was a very quick overview of how to do searching inside of a database. It was very quick. Please don't hesitate to send me an email, and you and we can walk through your specific search so you feel really confident with it. Um, you can come by my office or we can Zoom. Let's look at some of the specific business resources. All right, I'm back on the library page and I'm going all the way up to the top. There's a ribbon of links here at the top, and it says new search and then journals and then databases A to Z. That's what I want right now, databases A to Z. So clicking that. All right, now I'm on a different page. It opened up in another page. So it opened another tab for me. So now I'm on the page called More Materials Resources. And I slide down a bit to, again, databases A to Z. And I click that, excuse me, I click that link and it will open, it doesn't open another page. It just opens up all of the resources that are under that title, databases A to Z. So in the basic information at the beginning, it tells you if you're just looking for some general information, go ahead and go back to the main search, what we just did. There are some very specific databases in here though. And so when you're doing this kind of business research for your class, using these might be really helpful to you. So it also gives my email address here so that you remember, stop by my office, Zoom with me. You've already heard it. All right, I'm just going to slowly scroll down the page and I'm going to call out a few of these resources that might be useful to you for business class. But for sure, all of these are things that you may want to just browse around a bit and see what you see in there. All right, they're in alphabetical order. The first section, the first group is called student research. All right, so I'm scrolling, and I see Business Source Premier, Business Searching Interface. That's the database that we're going to want to go look at. So I'm right-clicking and opening that in a new tab. While that's opening, though, I'm going to keep scrolling down here, just see if there might be something else that might be fun. Maybe ERIC. Well, it's more education. Green file. So I was doing that search earlier on greenwashing, or maybe I'm interested in, like, if I'm doing construction, like getting an LED certification, the LEED certification for my building, things like that. That might be relevant to your business research. You might find that here in the green file, there's lots of environmental material. Let's see, maybe master file. I don't know. The Minnesota Digital Library, it's got a bunch of historic images in there. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be useful for this project, but yeah, maybe see. All right, and we come to our next subject title, news and magazine resources. So this has a lot of things that this might be useful to you depending what your topic is. I'm not reading all of the links. I'm just shouting out a couple. So historical Minneapolis Tribune, 1867 to 1922. Yeah, it's kind of cool actually to browse through there and see what was happening. Maybe you're looking at something from 1900. The Los Angeles Times, the New York Times, 1999 to today. ProQuest Newsstream. They have a lot of things all put together. The Star Tribune, USA Today, the Wall Street Journal, for sure. They're going to have something that may be relevant to you, may be useful. So we have articles available from 1984 to the current day. All right, and then the last subject area we're going to talk about is called job and career. So if you missed the Business Source premiere earlier when we saw it up there at the top, it's here again. It's the same thing. And then health and wellness resources. This is our last subject area. We're not gonna look at it for right now, but if your business area is health and wellness related, you may look through some of those. All right, I'm clicking to my next tab because remember I said I was opening our business databases over here, Business Source Premier. So now we're looking at that page. The reason that this is nice is because there's a lot of information already put into nice groups for you. So there's a search right at the top, a search bar right at the top. So if you come in and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what I want. I'm just going to dive in. I'm going to click advanced search. I'm going to search for stuff. It'll be awesome. Do that. You might also want to scroll down the page. So there's a title pretty near the top there that says Business Searching Interface, Leading Publications in the Database. Leading publications, how exciting. So we have little pictures and then underneath them links to say what's in the different sections. So different kinds of publications. So there's a section of business magazines, accounting and finance journals, management journals, marketing and sales journals, and MIS/POM journals. Sounds cool. Um, what you get in those is it is not pretty or fun to look at. It's a big list of journals. And then you can go into each journal and look and see what sounds interesting to you. This might be an efficient way for you to search if you're just trying to get a feel for, I don't know, what were they talking about in management in March of 1920 or 2020? I don't know. Could be fun. That would be a valuable way to look to use this resource. Or you know that there's a journal that your instructor has said, find an article from one of these 5 journals, and this is probably the fastest way to do that. All right, now we scroll down a bit more and we explore featured content. So we have, what, 10 different groups of featured content here, but the ones that I think may be the most valuable to you, company profile by industry. So if you know that for the research that you want to do either now or for a future paper, is in a specific industry. So I mentioned the construction industry. I mentioned the wellness industry. Well, I didn't mention, but there are a million others. Education. Click on this and it takes you to a big list of all kinds of industries. And then you can go from the industry and you can see lists of companies that are in that, and then you can go look at their profile. It's very helpful. Country reports, maybe industry reports. I think that could be helpful. The SWOT analyses, if you haven't already been working on different kinds of SWOT analyses, you will, I'm confident. You can click on that and go look at some. Case studies could be very valuable. Executive interview transcripts, I actually looked at that once and I found it really boring, but I bet there's a lot of really great information in there that might be helpful to you. So, you don't always have to have fun while you're reading. It's all right. All right, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more here because the next thing is a bunch of pictures. Well, it's one big picture. It's what is this? Like 6 inches by 4 inches, maybe? And it's a nice pictures. Each picture is a collection of popular topics. So underneath it, it says discover popular topics. That's what's that's what these pictures are. So I could look at this and I can click the link, the picture that I'm looking at right now, and this will be different when you're doing it yourself. But right at this moment, one of the topics that's popular is sports marketing. Explore the intersection of marketing and the sports industry. Ah, that sounds kind of cool. But I don't know what else is popular and cool. I'm clicking their left and right arrow buttons on the image, so I'm going to click the right arrow button. Business continuity. Ooh, explore research and business planning for the unexpected. When you're running a business, you want to know what's going to happen when you get hit by a hurricane. What's going to happen when the founder of your business, not you, gets run over by a truck and can't work anymore? What do you do? Who's going to sign the checks? You're going to want to know that before it happens. I'm going to click the right arrow. Again, let's see what's next. AI in business, the emergence of artificial intelligence and its impact. Ah, cool. Click again. Leadership, the latest research in transformational leadership, remote and hybrid work, the future of workforce, social media, discover the latest social media trends in business and networking. Oh, they have greenwashing. Uh, if I was interested in any of those topics, I would just click on that image or the link or the words, whatever. This 6 inch by 4 inch, I'm ballparking. I don't think that I had those numbers right. This image with these words, and then a bunch of material will all be in one place and it will be easy for me to see. So let's click greenwashing. And we're waiting for things to happen. It takes a minute. All right. So, uh, all kinds of things are on here, all kinds of articles. You can kind of poke around and do more research as we just did. Up near the top, you have the option to do all filters, but the next link that you can click on says full text. So click that. Let's see, I start with 2,839 resources. I only want things that are full text. Now, if you're getting them right out of our catalog and we were back on our catalog, everything that you're going to get will be full text. We're in EBSCO though, remember? EBSCO has all kinds of stuff and we don't subscribe to everything. So you only want stuff that they're going to show full text. So I click that, and what did I have before? 2,000 and some such. I now have 1,032 articles. I mean, that's great. That's still a lot of good stuff. I'm thrilled, but it just cut what was available in half for me. Now I could also go up here to the top to the search engine and I could click on advanced search and I could say, I'm going to throw in a couple more words and I'm going to say I want construction or I want the entertainment industry or the sports industry or whatever if I want to. And I can kind of narrow that down because a thousand is a lot. I'm not going to look at 1,000 things. Whatever you are doing research on, you want to narrow this to those topics. All right. Now I'm backing up a couple of screens here because I want to get back to the front page here of this database business searching interface. We've talked about doing some basic research in databases, and then we've looked here at all of these different business resources. And I didn't click on each individual one because honestly, what you need to do is walk through this and see what's in there and start to feel comfortable. I'm going to stop sharing. So think about what topics you're doing. Think about the topics that you're covering. Think about the outcomes that need to happen and the outputs that you need to be turning into your instructor. And start browsing, start looking, spend a little time. Know that the first two things that you see are not necessarily going to be the best for you. What I want you to do in this assignment, and what your instructor wants you to do, I'm sure, is to explore some of the business resources that are available to you and to start to feel comfortable with knowing how to look things up. As you do this a little bit more, as you start to feel comfortable, it will go faster, it will be easier. Your eye will catch things quickly. You'll immediately start clicking, oh, yeah, that was great. That was just what I wanted. But it just takes a little time to get experienced with it. You're starting. You don't have to be experienced at it yet, but you will be. You will be by the time you get done. And again, I've said this, it feels like 15 times already. Come talk to me. I will walk through your search with you, and we can do that in my office. This is my office, or we can do it on Zoom, whatever is comfortable for you. All right, come find me and I will be happy to chat with you anytime. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.